right, everybody, welcome to Copenhagen. I'm Michael, and here we are in Denmark. Denmark is quite an interesting place. It is a lot like some of these other Scandinavian countries. I would say it's a blend between Amsterdam and maybe Finland, something like that, or Amsterdam and Helsinki. You see lots of bikes. It's like the bike capital of Europe, I would say. Maybe even more than Amsterdam. If you've been there, there's bike shops all over the place. If you were to look, you can see maybe pan and just show all these bikes over here. That's crazy. I'm serious. You can pan and show these bikes. There's just bikes everywhere, and nobody locks them up, which means apparently they aren't getting stolen, probably because you can just pick up another one. Anyway, it's also one of the most high-tax places in the world. Their top tax bracket, not including what they call church tax, is like 55.8%, which is obviously pretty high. Even dividends are taxed at like 42%. And they have an interesting, on the corporate side, it's not so crazy, it's 22%. However, and we haven't talked, by the way, about the socials. Oh boy. So, you know, in all of these countries, it's clearly expensive, right? This is also like hotels and things are nuts in the cost of downtown Copenhagen. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, what can I tell you? They've got some really unique things and interesting things here. Number one is in their corporate residency rules, they have registration and they have management control, but their management control is different. They have this concept they call day-to-day management. Okay, so it's a harder standard to get around because traditionally what you would see is you would see maybe something that refers to directors, right? And what is the deal with directors, directorship decisions? Here it's not. It's based on what's going on day to day. And so that's a much harder thing in a sense to get around. You really need to have real managers if you want to have a foreign company here. So it's usually useful when we're dealing with clients who are in a situation where they've got foreign partners, okay? So often if, say, you're Danish or a Danish resident and you've got foreign partners, especially two of them, you know, then they maybe carry on the day-to-day management, maybe they work with respect to the CFC rules, etc., and that works well. The CFC rules are not brutal in the terms of the percentages. It's only 50%, which is good. They do have a participation exemption, meaning that you can receive dividends tax-free into a Danish holding company in a bunch of situations, although not portfolio companies, interestingly. So that's a little bit of a different situation as opposed to what you would see with, you know, I don't know, some place like Hong Kong or whatever, right? So again, what's the norm here? The norm here is, okay, obviously you want to try and just do as much as possible to escape this 55.8%. 42% is obviously better, right? But still, 42 is, by the way, these are the top rates. So there's a slightly lower rate if you're earning low income, but you're probably not paying too much attention or concerned about this if you're low income. So, all right, what's the next deal? You have to have that foreign company, you have to register it, you have to have day-to-day management there. We can help you if you want to have a conversation around what does that mean, what does it look like in terms of your actual setup. However, big thing here, you really are going to want to defer like as much as possible. Keep things outside of the country. Be in a situation where hopefully, you know, you can take advantage of it maybe in the future with something, because it is really not super pleasant. So again, the way that the rules are, you know, a little intense. Rates are a little bit high. It is, however, pretty nice. Honestly, like before coming here, people would tell me, oh, there's not much in Copenhagen. There's actually quite a lot in Copenhagen. There's quite a lot of nice buildings. There's lots going on, lots to see. Probably, I haven't checked it out, but probably a decent little party scene. Definitely not sleepy the way that Oslo is. However, also not clean the way that Oslo is. I don't know. If somebody said, I read an article the other day that said Helsinki was the cleanest city in Europe. I disagree based on personal experience. And this is definitely, you know, definitely not the cleanest city in Europe. Not that it's, you know, it's outrageously bad, but definitely not super clean. So anyway, if you want help, reach out to us. What you're gonna have to do, we're gonna help you. We're gonna form a foreign company. We're gonna make sure that it's properly managed and controlled foreignly. We're gonna make sure that the CFC rules, there may be trusts involved, who knows, that's obviously something that sometimes needs to happen in terms of the overall planning. However, you really need to make sure that it's a situation where you do have the ability to operate the business outside of Denmark, because otherwise it's going to be a really ruthless situation for you. Hope that helps. We're going to see you guys soon.